Hello guys and welcome back to the Heroes Hype Challenger Series. I'm Gillyweed, this one right here is Anna, and we are ready for Game 3.
It's nice to have a Game 3, Gilly. A lot of
It is.
times we only get to watch 2 games between such great teams, but this time we get to watch 3, and they're already in the draft. They're very eager to match up again. No one likes to be in that 1-1 situation.
No, indeed not. As we mentioned before, we will be on Sky Temple, so that'll be the battleground where this final battle takes place, and we're going to have bans on Zeratul and Jaina, so I really like this choice of Jaina, as we have seen her first picked a lot, and I feel like that's kind of been the choice of who's been winning. So I really like that ban, realizing that the PLEYZ will not have that first pick, going to ban that out. But Zeveron are going to first pick Tyrande, and we're seeing a Tassadar pick up. Man, they're really prioritizing these half support, half assassin, full awesome heroes.
Yeah, that's interesting because we did see, I believe it was the PLEYZ, right, grabbing both of them last time. I can't remember. They switched colors and it really confuses my brain. But yes, one team capitalized on having both of them, one picked and one banned last time. So these teams being like, nope, we each get one. Now let's start from there. Tyrande, by the way, has been kind of the hot commodity these days. She's been picked quite a bit and also a huge indicator of how successful teams are being.
Yeah, she's definitely the prom date of choice for these teams who have really been grabbing her every chance they can get. But Zeveron has also been picking these two a lot as well, as they're going to get Uther and Zagara for the Sky Temple. And now we're going to run into our next ban phase. So looking at what we have, it's possible we'll see the PLEYZ choose to ban oh, that's going to be Kerrigan.
I wondered.
They've seen the Uther Tyrande, they've realized the Divine Shield is there, and they've said, no more Equinox, no more will you give us the Queen of Blades, you get Zagara, but that is all.
Yeah, it's interesting that Zeveron wanted Zagara even more than they wanted Kerrigan, and I guess that shows that they're committed to the objectives on this battleground, because Zagara is going to have lots of vision, and she's really, really good at protecting an area as well.
Yeah, she really is, and she's great at 1v1ing, so she's going to be fantastic in lane. She can also throw down, if we get into a situation where we've kind of just got a little skirmish between a few heroes of each side, around those temples or around any other of those objectives, she can throw that hunter-killer down, and that will basically force someone out of the fight or focus your damage-dealing abilities on a minion, which is never something you want to be doing. Zeveron has banned Tyrael here, so they don't want to deal with the Tyrael Muradin composition again. It was very difficult for them to try to get through that front line and make anything happen. And it's possible we could see them try to pick up the Butcher again. Maybe the Butcher really was that problem before, as they did have the Sanctification there. So with Kerrigan banned, the Butcher is still a possibility.
That's true, and the PLEYZ are well on their way to doing a similar thing to what they did last time. They could have the dual support, dual warrior build, and it could be effective on this map the same way it was on the last one, just allowing them to sustain through the initial damage that Zeveron could do and manage to hold down objectives in the same way on this map that they did on Cursed Hollow. So we'll see whether they will go for, yep, there's another tank. So we are going to see just one damage dealer. It's going to be a similar kind of situation. So Zeveron has to decide whether they think the problem was, as you said, with Tyrael specifically, or whether their composition needs a little more sustain to match, or whether they're going to do something just to address the problem they had with this composition last game.
You know, they might go for something a little more sustained damage, like a Vala instead of a Butcher, because obviously the whole burning down somebody didn't really work, and I would be very scared to pick Butcher once again into those two warriors, regardless of who is with Muradin, because Anubarak and Muradin is going to have tons of stuns, more stuns than Tyrael even, because they've got the Impale and the Burrow Charge. So it looks like Zeveron are going to choose to pick up Kael'thas, and this is pretty nice here. This does mean that the PLEYZ, for their damage dealer, do have to rely on somebody like probably a Vala, so they won't really have somebody who's bursty like they had with Jaina when they ran this before.
Yeah, that's interesting that they were the ones to ban out Jaina, and then they build this composition that pretty heavily last time relied on that burst damage. Vala certainly does a fair share, but Kael'thas and Jaina are the ones that are really known for being able to just rain down deadness upon you.
Yeah.
So I'm interested. I think that to me, Zeveron's composition looks very robust for this battleground, but the plays really proved that they know how to use that sustainability last time.
Yeah, and once again, we have a battleground where sustainability, you're going to be fighting on these certain areas where you kind of don't want to get away from them. You want to stay right around that area. You're fighting for something that's right in a certain spot. So sustainability will definitely benefit them there. But now with Vala, they could go for more like that Hungering Arrow build, and that would at least help them do more single target damage as long as it's not like getting spread out between people. But where Zeveron will most likely all be together around those temples, I don't know what she'll choose to do here. We'll have to see, but Zeveron definitely have more of the damage, the standard composition we might see, I guess, here in the Challenger series.
Right. The plays are probably going to want to, and again, you know, they can do damage, but it's going to have to be very intentional. They're going to have to work together to make sure if they want to burn down someone that they're all focused on that one person and that they engage on that one person. So they're going to have to utilize the skill we've seen them use before in determining when an engagement is the right one to take. And then on top of that, they're going to have to all focus their damage on that one person. So looking at Zeveron, they're probably going to want to take Kael'thas out of the mix and possibly even Tyrande as those two that really make Zeveron so scary in terms of burning hellfire upon their souls. I don't know, what do you think? If you were the PLEYZ, who would you be looking to take out of the fight first?
Well, the problem is that no matter who you choose, Uther is going to drop the Divine Shield on. But I think the hope would probably be if they could get Zagara maybe too far forward to drop a Devouring Maw, if they could get a Kael'thas, or even if they could get Uther, that would be fantastic as well. I think anybody but Johanna, as long as they are trying to focus them. And because Zeveron really just have that Johanna to try to condemn and pull people in, and maybe throw some stuns on top of that, they have a really very good chance of being able to pull Vala toward their teammates and then throw stuns and then damage there. And then we can see them doing what they weren't quite able to do last time, which is focus down that damage dealer.
Yeah, it's interesting you mentioned pulling Vala out. Johanna can definitely do that, but I'm curious why we didn't see... Well, no. I can understand why they would want Johanna instead. We did see them use Stitches to great effect for that kind of thing, pulling someone out of the mix and then burning them down. I think Johanna probably has a lot more utility on this particular battleground than Stitches would. Johanna can do a lot more in terms of holding down a temple, for example, than maybe Stitches would be able to do. But I think you're right that they are going to be focused on that kind of pick composition, and I think they've got the tools they need to do it.
Yeah, they definitely do. They've got a ton of stuns and a ton of damage. They are going to be Zeveron in the blue once again. Mad Timmy will be on Uther. Equinox playing Tyrande. Fury will be on Johanna. Faye will be playing Kael'thas. And on Zagara will be Cawthon Luck.
Interesting. We've seen Faye take Tyrande so far in this series today, and instead we're going to see her on Kael'thas, so we will see. And Equinox, same thing, has been melee damage so far. Anyways, now the plays are going to be in red. We have Lex Uther on Rhaegar, Pirate Rum playing Tassadar, Evan Drinde on Vala, Daihu on Muradin, and Zeus playing Anub'arak. We saw them lining up in the mid lane, but now we see a hunting pack from Zeveron trying to move very far forward on the map. This is kind of their signature move, Gilly. Yeah, they like helping Cawthon Luck set up that creep, and they remember the last time they did that and nearly lost to Zagara for it. So they got that creep set down. That's exactly what they want to be able to do. They just want to make sure that there's not going to be any sort of ganks coming down. But remember, we do have Pirate Rum. We have a Tassadar versus Zagara this time, and every time he hits that Oracle, he's going to be able to reveal those creep tumors. So that's going to be really nice for the plays, because they're going to be really focused on trying to deny the vision of Zeveron as much as they possibly can. Indeed they are. It looks like we have Zagara trying to put down lots of creep tumors, gonna get stunned by Daihu actually, and is kind of in danger as we now have a Nubrak joining the fight, but Fury so good at protecting her sisters. Just gonna come down there and make sure that Kathleen Luck can escape behind the wall. Kathleen Luck though not gonna stay back there for long.
Meanwhile, we've got 3 members up top for Zeveron, so kind of trading the party lanes like we are seeing, although that's not normally the case. Normally we see most members of both teams being up toward the top and mid because the first temples that spawn are always top and mid, and they're spawning right now. So we'll see if these teams choose to trade, if they'll try to fight over any certain ones. For now, it looks like we'll have Zeveron picking up the top one and the PLEYZ in mid. But I think we are going to see the PLEYZ moving up toward mid. They know they've kind of caught a couple of members from Zeveron out, so they're going to try to make something happen here. A lot of stuns going down on Equinox, but not quite able to seal the deal there for damage, and she will be able to get away. But that does mean the PLEYZ now are going to be able to pick up some of the shots here, at least initially from the top.
Yeah, we saw them focusing down Equinox, or trying to, and they're going to try again to do that. We do see the Burrow charge go in that body blocks Equinox in, but still having a little bit of health, being able to, it looks like, escape, but not so for Evan Drinde. Vala will fall, and that means there's not going to be a lot of damage coming out of the PLEYZ now. A stun also goes down on Muradin, who Dwarf tosses out of the way, and he's going to be able to get out just fine with him, the amount of sustainability he has.
And meanwhile, in the middle of all of that, Johanna came in and stole the middle temple. So far, I think it's been pretty close in terms of who has had more shots, but I think Zeveron was taking the lead, although the PLEYZ have a very strong showing up here in the top now. It's 3v3 in the top. Faye has dropped a gravity lapse on Rhaegar, and that has enabled the rest of the team to be able to pick up that takedown. Now it's 2v3 in terms of in favor of Zeveron, and they're going to try to chase some of the members of the PLEYZ out of here. They really just want to be able to pick up the rest of these shots here, and I think they have done it. They have gotten a lead in terms of structures from the first temple phase.
Right, and you can see that structural lead also reflected in the experience lead. They are a robust level ahead of their opponents.
Yeah, they definitely are. Kathleen Luck and Drinde going blow for blow here in the bottom, but the creep really helping as Kathleen Luck did pick up that reconstitution, increasing the regeneration, the health restoration when she's on that creep so far.
Let's look a little bit at the talents. I was noticing we do have reconstitution, health restoration on creep from Zagara, so creep is priority there, but then we're going to see at the level 4 in Venom Spines. And now we've just got level 7 as well for Zeveron.
Yeah, and they're going to pick up battle momentum, so prioritizing being able to do damage with those abilities and being able to have those abilities up more often versus having that endless creep. They realize that creep it's not so important that you need to have it completely spread, and they're really okay with the amount of spread that they've gotten so far. And that just shows confidence in realizing that, hey, I know exactly when I need to be dropping another creep tumor, as the creep spread already is quite good without having that endless creep talent. So having that battle momentum is going to be so nice. Also on the Tyrande and the Johanna, all will be able to have decreased cooldowns, making sure that they have more stuns, more abilities as well. Looking over at the level 7 for the PLEYZ, though, they've picked up a Mule as well as Mental Acuity, so they will have more vision, more opportunities to get rid of creep, but they're also going to be healing up their structures.
Also on level 7, I don't know if you mentioned this yet, Gilly, but Uther has got that cleanse, so really thinking about the amount of CC that is available for the PLEYZ and thinking about how to make sure that keeps his team out of their traps.
Yeah, and Rhaegar did not get the cleanse. He went with the Earth Shield instead, going for shielding, so they will have a lot of shield capabilities between Tassadar and Rhaegar, but they won't have a cleanse of their own versus something like the Tyrande and Uther stun. So that is a very important point that you make. We do have the next phase of temples moving in. Right now, Zeveron are pushing up top with their bruisers, and they might be content to kind of let that temple phase go a little bit. They've been very aggressive versus structure so far, knowing that their opponents did pick up that mule.
Yeah, Fury's not going to be able to do a whole bunch down here by her lonesome, although she is a mighty crusader. Looks like Daihu Zeus and Evan Drinde are going to be right up here against the wall. They're going to try to speed that along so that they can get the temple to put some of those shots on the fort. But while they're busy doing that, the top was getting quite nicely pushed, and now the members of Zeveron are going to come down and join.
Yeah, they picked up their heroic abilities. They took out that fort as well. And there is a great starfall to zone, as well as the Phoenix trying to slow some of the members down and being able to escape. And they came out of the Devouring Maw straight into all of that damage and were taken out. Now we're seeing Zeveron pinging the boss. It looks like they're going to go for a very early boss. Going for this even before getting the rest of the shots off of that temple, realizing they've got a little bit of a power play here, and because they have that Hunter's Mark, that boss is going down so fast. Once again, Zeveron getting a very early boss here.
It's one of my favorite little things that a team can do to just tickle me pink, is take early objectives that people would say, you're crazy to take it at this point in the game. But they weigh very carefully what they are going to be able to get away with, and they just barely are able to get away with that right now, since 2 members of the PLEYZ were still down when they started.
Sorry, little mule, there is no way you are going to be able to heal the fort up against a temple and the boss. That was a lot of great synergy, and already we see Zeveron starting to throw some damage on this mid fort as well, although it looks like this one might be able to be muled up once the cooldown's done. We do have heroics for both teams. Zeveron has picked up the Starfall and Phoenix that we saw, as well as Blessed Shield, Divine Shield, and the Devouring Maw. The PLEYZ have picked up Ancestral Healing, Archon, Strafe, Locust Swarm for Anubarak, and Avatar for Muradin.
Indeed, and we now see Zeveron looking for these Siege Giants. We also have the PLEYZ looking for the Siege Giants right on the other side. Sometimes that spells an engagement coming up. Do I smell an engagement cooking? Maybe not.
I think you might, actually. It looks like maybe the PLEYZ want to get a little aggressive here, knowing that they've got a little window before their opponents are 13. There goes the Dwarf Toss, but a Gravity Lapse is going to move back Muradin from the rest of the team. Now they're engaging, and the Ancestral Heal has to go down on Daihu. A great Starfall is going to zone the back line for being able to get in here, start throwing some damage, as well as that Phoenix too. Daihu is pretty low, and now a great Gravity Lapse is going to go up and take down Anubarak. So we're going to have Zeveron taking a little bit of an advantage here. They've also almost got 13. Looks like they might want to move forward and try to pick up this middle fort as their reward.
I love the placement of the Starfall and the Phoenix there, because it forced a bad decision for the PLEYZ. Either walk back through all this damage or be 100% committed to this engagement that right now isn't going very well for you. And they committed maybe a little too hard and ended up not coming out on top in that engagement. So I really like that zoning and the synergy between the two of those giant AoE abilities being able to really take up a lot of space.
Yeah, I really love that on this battleground because of the temples and the fact that one so amplifies the other. Starfall, of course, is going to slow anybody in it, and so it's harder to get out of the Phoenix, and you take more damage from it, from something that you should be able to just walk right out of, and you can't do it because you're being slowed. So I do really love the synergy between those, like you mentioned. And now Zeveron, they've been able to pick up 13. They're also grabbing, it looks like, one temple. They might be okay with just trading temples here because they know that they've got the structure advantage. Even though their opponents do have that mule, they're still winning the structure war.
See Kathanluck sniffing around up here, trying to make sure it's safe, and it looks like Zeveron wants to grab the bruisers on this side of the map. They are really hungry for push in the lanes. Evan Drinde went up there to check on them, but didn't decide that it was a good time to engage. Going to wait for some of his teammates, and going to wait a little too long. It looks like Zeveron, no, I was wrong. They are going to look to push this top lane.
Yeah, and what's really nice is that the PLEYZ just dropped the mule, so they can really push here and be able to get a lot done on these structures, only having to deal with maybe possible shielding from Tassadar. And their opponents have not yet hit 13 either. We may see them disengage as soon as they take out this tower, just to make sure that they don't get caught. Look at all those bruisers! There's 2 bruiser camps! There's so many sword slinging little bruiser guys, little fat short guys throwing their swords around, and man, that was a great push from them.
Yeah, I want to point out though how quickly Pirate Rum especially was able to dispense of those bruisers. There's a little more damage than you would expect that's going to be able to come out of him on this team that is mostly made up of supports and warriors.
Yeah, that's a really good point. That Tassadar does do a lot, especially when you pick up those some of those psionic storm abilities, although he didn't do that. So just a really good job of realizing, you know, you can throw those out, do a lot of damage by staying in the fight, and now they're even going to be able to pick up, they will lose their Rhaegar, actually, as the Starfall and the Phoenix make a Venn diagram of pain. I thought maybe they'd pick somebody up, but no, the colors have fooled me once again, and they've lost both of their healer and one of their tanks. Now Drinde is being chased as well. A living bomb will do a lot of damage, but a great shield from Tastar comes in and saves the day. This Mutalisk on the chase will get taken out by the tower.
Siege Giants will go the way of Zeveron. We see a lot of blue on this map. There was quite a bit of a minion push happening down there in the bottom from the PLEYZ against Zeveron, but it looks like that's been taken care of now. The only yellow thing on this map is the boss, but with this many members of the PLEYZ up right now, it's a little more risky than when they did it before. Are they gonna chance it?
I mean, they are 16-13. That fight was the PLEYZ trying to catch Zeveron in that window where they were in the same talent tier, but it looks like they are going to, at least for now, leash the boss. They're going to let it move back a bit, as they do know that there is a 2 temple phase. They'd rather just go for temples here, as the boss will not be picked up most likely by the PLEYZ. That's just not something the PLEYZ are going to likely do. They're going to try to maybe go for a push, maybe pick up a temple while doing so to help start taking down some of their structures, but unfortunately for the PLEYZ, trading structures at this point is way in favor of Zeveron, who still have 2 forts up.
Yeah, I applaud the decision not to commit to that boss, because I've seen that particular one be the throw boss so many times where, you know, the opposing team just manages to come in and capture it when you've done all the work, and that starts to really turn the tides in their favor.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And look at the poke potential from Zeveron. They've got the Flame Strike with Ignite. There goes the Phoenix as well. They're trying to chase down Lex Luthor, who was holding that temple, and now they've kind of caught him in a trap. They've used the Phoenix to zone everyone else out, and they're going after him. He's trying desperately. He's dropped the totem. He's going to have to also Ancestral heal himself, and he's going to try to run out in his ghost form. A Devouring Maw is going to pull one of the members of the PLEYZ into it, and it looks like it was a new Barak right back out into that Starfall. He's slowed. He's trying to get away, but won't be able to do so. Evan Drinde, Pirate Rum, and Lex Luthor are all on the run here, trying desperately to get away from Zeveron. They weren't even able to pick up a temple.
A beautiful dance of self-preservation by Lex Luthor, though. I mean,
yeah,
really did not expect him to survive that. The Ancestral heal going down on himself, though, means he needs to make use of his health to defend this keep now. So far, he's looking a little bit lost as to how to do that. He is a healing bear.
He
dog.
is.
Bear dog.
Bear dog thing. Well, they've at least been able to drop the mule on the keep and so far keep it alive, but it's starting to take that tower damage from the temple, and there's still plenty of shots left. I don't know if they could save this. They've got a few shields from Pirate Rum, but it won't be enough. The mule desperately trying to keep it alive, won't be able to do so, and that temple's going to start working on the remaining keep structures in bottom.
Now we have Zeveron falling back, leisurely taking objectives on their side of the map. They're going to burn those down very quickly because there's all 4 of them there. And Zagara is going to get healthy, going to join the pack back up. And the farthest back thing they have is the boss, so we'll see if they'll sniff around that again. I would not recommend it for the same reasons cited before. But I think they're going to look to get some picks, because if they can manage to take out members of the PLEYZ right now, it's going to give them quite a nice way to push into that core.
Yeah, there's already a really good minion push on top where they could move straight into core. Looks like they're going to be very aggressive, picking up all of the minion camps. Remember, the boss is still a possibility too, and we could see Zeveron hit 20 and just choose to pick that up. But PLEYZ have gotten 16, and they know this is their time. They have to engage before their opponents get Storm Talents, and they're moving down very aggressively to do so. We have Zeveron kind of on the defensive here. They're a little bit split up. They're moving back, and now they are going to group back up. Kozilek's got to get back. An actual preemptive Divine Shield ensures that he's going to be able to do just that. Fury taking some damage, but so is Daihu, as Faye is going to be able to continually throw out those Flame Strikes. Now Equinox might be in a little bit of trouble here. Is going to have to drop, going to get shielded and be able to get right back up. And now they were able to take out a new Barak, and now there's 2 more who are going to be condemned out of that Devouring Maw. Rhaegar will go down. 3 are being chased down right now. Zeveron, no, they can end the game right here, and they're going to try to do so.
It's really smart of the PLEYZ to try to split people up. Daihu is going to Dwarf Toss away, but it's going to get one last bit of health taken away and will fall. Now only Evan Drinde and Pirate Rum are on the run. Everyone's going to turn around, they're going to take out some insurance on their win. They're going to grab this boss that they have been lusting over so much.
Yeah, they're going to most likely win with this boss here. They could even, if they want to, send one person up to that temple just to be sure. But this is going to move straight toward that bottom keep. It's the final remainder keep. The mule preemptively trying to get it ready, trying to heal it back up like mad, but everyone else from Zeveron is moving toward that bottom, forgoing the temple even to help support that boss.
Yeah, it looks like we will see the perhaps final push here down in the bottom. Zeus, though, trying to engage and pull them away from the fort. He's going to get stunned and gravity lapped, but Ancestral healed, so he's going to be able to walk away, but that Starfall Phoenix does go down. They have to walk all the way through it. He also got Shrink Raid, so Zeus is the object of much damage, but still alive, getting away. We haven't lost anybody quite yet, but it looks like Zeus may be finally the one to go down, followed closely by Muradin.
That flame strike was so incredible there. Kael'thas's damage is absolutely insane, as he did get Gathering Power, and I don't think he's died. He has not. He's had full stacks this entire time. And now they've moved in, and it will be Game 3 taken by Zeveron, who will win this week's Challenger Series.
And that is a 0 takedown game for Zeveron. Nobody on their team fell, Gilly.
Yeah. And when you've got a Kael'thas with Gathering Power who's not dying, that is a problem. That is a serious problem. He dealt a ton of damage, especially once he picked up 16. And a lot of great like disengage into engaging from Zeveron there. Even when they were getting pushed back in the bottom, being able to drop Tyrande, being able to drop the protective shield on herself and then move back, heal up, and then move right back toward their opponents, picking up some the members of the PLEYZ. It was like their sustain was just working a bit better for them than the PLEYZ was this time.
Even though the PLEYZ were so focused on sustain with their composition. So I think that we can say that Zeveron has this early aggression style on lock. It's working for them.
Yeah, it definitely is. They like taking those early bosses. They like taking those early keeps and forts, and I think it's a really great show of knowledge of the game, being able to do that, knowing how much damage they can do at any given time, so that they don't overcommit to those objectives.
Well, that means they do take the finals, and they are this week's winners. That means that they take $300, I believe, as the first place prize, and 40 seeding points. But that doesn't mean that the PLEYZ walk away empty-handed, because they're going to take home $150 and 20 seeding points.
Oh, I did not realize that we had.
Oh, just kidding. That's from the Twitch challenge. I totally lied.
Oh, sorry, guys.
I'm totally lying. I'm a terrible person. But they do get some stuff. Sorry, admins. I totally died. I'm the worst. But wouldn't it be nice? Maybe in the future you should watch for more events like that. But they do walk away with seeding, which is exactly what they want, because it brings them closer to the road to BlizzCon, to the World Championship, where they can get their share of $1.2 million of prizes. So they certainly are not walking home sadly.
No, definitely not. And a great job by all of our teams, the PLEYZ, Zeveron, and then we, of course, saw Kappa Wolves and Zeveron earlier on. And it was really great. Best of 3. We got to go to Game 3. But it will be Zeveron who wins. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure that you're following Heroes Hype. You can check out heroeshype.com. Also follow Heroes Hype here on Twitch, Twitter, and then there's Facebook as well. If you want to participate in the Challenger Series, you definitely should. It's open. You can grab some friends, make a team, and hop right on in. We would love for you to do that. As for me, you can follow me on Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, all Gillyweed SC2. Exciting surprises being announced very soon, so definitely be watching Twitter for that. What about you, Anna? Where can people follow you?
At Anna Prosser on Twitter is the best way to stay up to date with my day-to-day adventures. I do stream just about every day, but it's on lots of different channels. I'm here Monday and Wednesday. I'm on Misclicks Tuesday and Thursday. And I have my own channel, Anna Prosser, on Twitch, which I just resurrected last night, finally, after a long string of casting. So please watch there. I'm looking to do a lot more streaming there, hopefully this week, and we can bring the Strawberry Patch back to life.
Yay! Well, I hope you guys will check that out. I hope you will continue to watch Heroes Hive. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to our sponsor, Follow Esports, as well. They provide a little bit of prize money for these teams, and that's never a bad thing. So we really appreciate them. You can check them out at Follow Esports GG, I believe, on Twitter. And that's it for us. Thank you. Have a great night, and we will see you next week. Bye.